So Fatty Arbuckle was like this excellent star. He was an artist, but Fatty Arbuckle liked to have fun. In fact, too much fun. He just did what he wanted to do, and you know how humans party, male humans, women, wine, and song. And all of a sudden, Fatty Arbuckle was caught up in a scandal, and the scandal was they found a dead woman in his hotel room. Truth be told, is that the woman drank too much and she had health problems and had suffered diseases. And when a doctor came to check on her after Fatty Arbuckle had left, because it seemed that he was drunk also, the doctor could not revive her, and he committed what's called today criminal malpractice. He exacerbated her situation and she died. During that time, there was a thing called yellow journalism, and it was named after a yellow character, which was used by Joseph Pulitzer of the Pulitzer Prize to gain influence, to sell newspapers. He didn't want to sell normal news. He wanted to sensationalize or exaggerate news, or just to sell papers and for power, like we see being done now. And he had a rival, William Randolph Hearst, and Hearst also wanted power. Such was the power of the media at that time that they sensationalized conflict with Cuba at that time, and stirred up public opinion so much that the public demanded war against Spain. And then there was the Spanish-American War, in which we gained influence over territories like the Philippines. We got Cuba influence over also over Cuba. So it expanded American imperialism, all because of people wanting influence and power, all because of people willing to tell any lie that they wanted to tell in order to gain power. And what we see happening today is the same type of yellow journalism. Fatty Arbuckle, even though he was well loved, what William Randolph Hearst did was to forget the facts, forget that what happened, what was caused by the doctor, but to increase sensationalism and sell papers and gain power. It was publicized, all this gory details of Fatty Arbuckle, the beloved comedian, and ruined the man's life. He went to 3 trials, and he was finally found not only not guilty, but the jury got up, and it's unprecedented, and read a statement that this man is innocent. But it was too late, because public opinion had changed. And we see these things happening today in what's happening with our world. We see it with Fox News. We see it with Donald Trump. We see it with certain members of a certain party. We just see it, that people are not interested in how they harm lives or harm national interest. They're interested in only power. But this is not a new thing. In fact, it's the first sin, because they were told, Adam and Eve, not to eat of that fruit because it had the knowledge of good and evil. And yellow journalism has the knowledge of good and evil. It knows that is wrong. It takes a bit of the truth and mixes it together, because it's what they say. It looks good to eat. It's to make a person wise. They think they become wiser and more powerful. Lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh, and pride of life. And that's what's happening in our world today, and it's continuing. And it's not going to stop. And what would have stopped these problems is that good people have to speak up, because throughout what happened to Fatty Arbuckle, we got into wars behind yellow journalism. Who knows how many wars we've gotten into recently over yellow journalism. Yellow journalism might have caused our latest political upheaval. But what really is causing this problem is not so much that people want power, is that those of us who have the true power are doing nothing. I don't care if I say till my tongue drops out, but the Lord Jesus said, hear me, Christians, that Jesus will say to many of us, who will say to him, haven't we did miracles in your name, cast out demons in your name? And Jesus says, get out of here. Get thee hence, I've never known thee, because when I was hungry, you didn't feed me. When I was naked, you didn't clothe me. So it's not that we might do what we consider to be good. It is what we consider to do good for the common good. And we're not doing it. And we need to vote. We need to step up. There are going to be many Fatty Arbuckles, many people torn down. They railed against Hillary Clinton for what? For email, for email, for email. We just had a trial over email and Hillary Clinton, Justice Department, special prosecutor, and ruining lives just because people want to make money, sell media slots, and have power. Meanwhile, us good people are doing nothing. It's not sufficient for us to say we're going to check out and not do anything, but it's on us. We are the salt of the earth. We lose our savor. We are fit to be thrown out of doors and trod underfoot. I'm sorry that happened to Fatty Arbuckle, but it's happening to all of us today. We as a people, good people, are just being lambasted through the media, torn down as we're a threat. And they're selling guns and they're talking about abortion. No one wants to kill a baby. Hear me. And they're not interested in babies or children either, but it gives them power. So we have to do something. It's on us. The responsibility is on us. And I pray that we will get motivated and focused on fixing this situation, because not only is this country going down the drain, the whole world, because we're interconnected, and it's being done only because a few people just want money and power. Another thing with Fatty Arbuckle, which is funny, after William Randolph Hearst, Patty Hearst's, I think, father or grandfather, you know, Patty Hearst, she robbed a bank with people who want to overthrow the country. There's pictures of her with a machine gun in the bank and everything, and symbols. And the power of William Randolph Hearst's media empire was such that he claimed that they brainwashed her somehow, and she didn't pay much in terms of penalty, and she's a very rich woman today, even though she robbed the bank. Try that, my brothers and sisters. In any case, after all was said and done, after they took the beloved Fatty Arbuckle and ruined him, William Randolph Hearst called Fatty Arbuckle and offered him a job. And William Randolph Hearst said, listen, I just want to sell newspapers. But the fact was he wanted power. So what's happened today, it shows the nature of mankind. We want power. We want influence over people. We want dominance. In fact, there's a great treatise on political science and I think it's called not the Wealth of Nations, but in any case, the main premise of the book, which is a classic being read in universities for political science, is that power is power over men's minds. And that's all what's happening now. These people don't love the country. They don't love unborn babies. They're not concerned about your right to bear arms. They're concerned about lining their pockets and calling the shots. And they don't care if everything went down the drain, as long as they have what they have.